My life has been kind of a roller coaster of just one crazy thing after another. I knew God put me through a lot of things in my life to get to the point to where I'm at, and one of those things was joining the military. I was in the Army, did 2 deployments to Iraq, and had struggles through it all. Anytime we went on a security mission, I was responsible for 30 to 40 people, and that fell on my shoulders, fell hard. It was a thing that I came home with, and I struggle with to this day. For a while there, I was so mad and sad and angry with God that I did not realize what that was called, but coming to find out, that's moral injury. Seeing things that your mind can't comprehend and your heart can't comprehend throws you into a place where no person should be.
Every individual has some sort of moral compass of how the world should operate or how I should operate. And if we've experienced something, whether it's something that's happened to us by someone else or maybe something that we were involved in that doesn't fit right with what we see true north is and causes our compass to go out of whack, that's what we identify as a potentially moral injurious event.
I didn't have a name for it then, but I knew it was a heart issue. It was a me issue. It was something that wrecked my foundation of who I am. We have tons of men and women that have gone through that still to this day can't put a name to it. I've lost more friends now after the service than I did overseas while at war.
We like to think of it as a soul wound. When you think about a veteran and the different things that he might have seen or done or experienced that may have violated his moral code.
We understand how to identify these potential moral injurious events in people's lives and understand that there are some really specific steps that we can walk with people towards a healing process. A lot of moral injuries are centered around loss. So being able to walk through a proper grief process is very beneficial. Oftentimes it's being able to help them walk through forgiveness. It may be forgiveness of someone who betrayed them. It may be forgiveness of themselves for something that they did. For some individuals, they can't reconcile how a loving God could let this happen to them or to the people around them. And so there may be a sense of actually working through forgiveness towards their higher power. Volunteers of America is kind of hitting this moral injury front on 2 sides. One is on the side of education. You know, we are leading the way in Montana and Wyoming and South Dakota with moral injury knowledge, understanding what's there, what's the research behind it. And on the other side is on the ground. We have a moral injury program which provides a framework for veterans to walk through healing. And our SSVF program, we have a moral injury coordinator that can both work one-on-one with a veteran in this area, or this coordinator also is establishing groups for veterans to connect with and then walk through the process of some healing steps.
In our group environment, you know, we're educating on grief and loss and spirituality and providing the opportunity for someone to explore and recognize themselves. Maybe there are pieces that have gone misunderstood or unattended to.
Through those areas, we're able to connect individuals with other individuals who've been there.
A lot of combat vets won't say a lot unless it's another combat vet. And so there's a connection there of guys who have been through it and seen it and been in the squads and been in the trenches, literally and figuratively.
So there's a camaraderie, there's a level of support, mutual vulnerability that then is allowing them to be able to move forward, not just through like a process, but through a long-term relational reconnecting. It is pretty common when we're talking with individuals or communities about moral injury and we start describing what it looks like, that people will come to us and say, I know someone, or my son was in combat and when he came back he was never the same person, and it's like the lightning bulb of finally giving them a concept and words to explain what they have observed in their loved ones.
There's hope. And the answer isn't being alone or suicide or drinking yourself to death or drugs. Like, that's not the answer. But as a guy who's been there and done that and put a tarp down in my garage because I was done, there is hope. and there is an answer.
If you or a loved one is struggling with moral injury or a moral wound, we are happy to walk alongside you in that journey. So please give us a call.